The heat still clung to Las Vegas long after the sun had disappeared. It was the kind of heat that pressed against the skin, thick and restless, refusing to let the night breathe. Neon lights flickered along the strip, reflecting off chrome and glass, bleeding red and gold into the darkness. Traffic lights changed from green to yellow to red, indifferent to the lives passing beneath them. In the passenger seat of a black BMW 750IL sat Tupac Amaru Shakur. He was shirtless, wearing gold chains that caught the glow of the streetlights as the car rolled forward. To anyone watching, he looked invincible, young, rich, untouchable, a man who had conquered music, film, culture, a man who walked with the confidence of someone who believed the world bent around him. But inside that car, something felt wrong. There was laughter, bravado, the hum of the engine, but also tension, a weight, a sense that the night was watching them back. Tupac leaned into the open window, greeting fans, flashing a smile that masked something deeper. Paranoia had become his shadow. Every street corner felt like a possible threat. Every unfamiliar face, a potential enemy. The car slowed at a red light on Flamingo Road. In a few minutes, everything would change. But for now, Tupac was still alive, still breathing, still unaware, or perhaps painfully aware, that these were his final moments. Tupac Shakur was never meant to be ordinary. Born into revolution, raised on poetry and protest, he carried the anger of a system that had failed him and the brilliance of a mind that could articulate it. In his early music, Tupac wasn't just rapping, he was testifying about police brutality, poverty, racism, the pain of Black America. He spoke with vulnerability and rage, sometimes in the same breath. But as his fame grew, so did the danger. Money arrived, power followed. And with them came people who wanted a piece of him or wanted him gone. Tupac's world became crowded with entourages, enemies, lawyers, guns, and rumors. Fame didn't shield him. It exposed him. He was shot 5 times in New York in 1994 and survived. Instead of relief, the survival hardened him. He believed the attack was orchestrated, that people he trusted had betrayed him, that the industry itself was dangerous. From that moment on, Tupac began to move like a hunted man. He lashed out violently. He clashed with police. He went to prison. And when he came out angrier, louder, and more reckless than ever. Signed to Death Row Records, a label that thrived on intimidation, aggression, and chaos. By then, paranoia wasn't a weakness. It was survival, or so it seemed. At the same time, hip-hop itself was tearing apart. What began as regional pride turned into rivalry. What started as lyrical competition transformed into something darker. The East Coast versus the West Coast. New York versus Los Angeles. Bad Boy Records versus Death Row. The media fueled it relentlessly. Every diss track became a headline. Every insult was magnified. Radio stations played the songs like battle cries. Fans picked sides. The industry watched and profited. At the center of it all stood Tupac and Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G. Once they had been friends, brothers in the same struggle. But after Tupac was shot in New York, suspicion poisoned everything. Tupac believed Biggie knew more than he admitted. Biggie denied it. Silence replaced trust. Then the music turned vicious, lyrics accused, threatened, provoked. Tupac's words cut deep, personal, unforgiving. He painted Biggie as an enemy, a symbol of betrayal. Biggie responded more subtly, but the damage was done. Hip-hop was no longer just music. It was war, and wars always leave bodies. On September 7, 1996, Tupac attended the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Tyson won quickly. The crowd erupted. Adrenaline surged. And in the chaos, Tupac spotted a familiar face, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, a known member of the Southside Crips. Months earlier, Anderson had allegedly been involved in a robbery of someone close to death row. The moment was brief. Then violence exploded. Security footage later showed Tupac throwing the first punch. A swarm followed. Fists flew. Bodies crashed into walls. The fight was chaotic, uncontrolled, and public. Warnings went ignored. No one thought about consequences. No one thought about retaliation. Afterward, Tupac left the casino energized, aggressive, alive with adrenaline. He was supposed to ride in an armored vehicle. Instead, he climbed back into the black BMW with Suge Knight behind the wheel. Another decision that night. Another mistake. The car rolled through Las Vegas streets, music playing, windows down. Tupac leaned out again, flashing signs, soaking in the attention. For a moment, he looked relaxed. Then the white Cadillac pulled alongside them. Witnesses later said it came out of nowhere. Gunshots shattered the night. Glass exploded. Metal screamed. Bullets tore through flesh. Tupac was hit multiple times. Chest, arm, thigh. Blood filled the car. The BMW lurched forward, tires scraping against the curb as chaos swallowed the street. Then silence. No music. No laughter. Just the sound of a dying man struggling to breathe. Tupac was rushed to the hospital. Las Vegas kept moving. For 7 days, Tupac hovered between life and death. Machines beeped. Doctors whispered. Visitors came and went. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some said he was conscious. Others said he was already gone. The air around his hospital room felt heavy, guarded, secretive. On September 13, 1996, Tupac Shakur died. He was 25 years old. The world mourned. Candles burned. Music played. But beneath the grief, something darker lingered. Because almost immediately, the questions began. The investigation was slow, then stalled, then seemed to dissolve entirely. Witnesses refused to talk. Some were afraid. Others were silent for reasons no one would ever confirm. Suspects were named, whispered about, pointed at. Then nothing happened. Orlando Anderson was widely suspected. He denied involvement. He was never charged. He was later killed in an unrelated shooting. No arrests, no convictions, just an open case and a closed door. Rumors filled the vacuum, that the police were corrupt, that powerful people interfered, that the truth was buried deliberately, that Tupac knew too much about the industry, about money, about crime, about connections that reached far beyond music. Some believed Suge Knight knew more than he ever said. Others believed the FBI had files no one would ever see. Some believed Tupac wasn't killed randomly, that he was executed. And then there were those who believed something even stranger, that Tupac staged his own death, that he escaped, that he's still alive. Because when the truth is missing, myths take its place. Today, Tupac Shakur exists in a strange space between history and haunting. His music still plays, his words still resonate, his face still stares out from murals and screens. But his death remains unresolved, suspended in shadows. Was it gang retaliation, industry revenge, a collision of ego, violence, and fate, or something darker, something planned? Why were there no answers? Why does the case still feel unfinished? And why, nearly 3 decades later, does it still feel like someone is lying? Tupac didn't just die in Las Vegas that night. He became a ghost, a warning, a reminder of what happens when art, money, violence, and power collide, and the truth is left bleeding on the pavement waiting for justice that never comes. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel. It helps more people like you get to watch a video like this.